that are affecting me. Rising crime, poverty, issues in my own country. But today we're talking about it. Yes, we're gonna talk about it. Ain't nobody wants to open their mouth, but we don't speak out at the Youth Zone. Searching for solutions for the issues in our nation. That's the only way we know that we can make it. It's going down at the Youth Zone. We may be young, but we're the next generation, and we're here to save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Youth Zone. Well, there's nothing like your favorite song. The beat is slamming, the groove's just right, and boy, those lyrics on point. It's a song you play when you need a pick-me-up or just in a good mood for some pretty good tunes.
Man, tell me about it. There's nothing like being to a party and to get things started, the DJ puts on the right song to start off the atmosphere.
Yeah,
the place
pretty
just goes wild. Not to mention when our favorite artist comes out with the right song at the right time, instant success.
That's what I'm talking.
Just give us a week and we got every word, ad-lib and runs. Come to think of
You're
it,
right about that.
it's amazing how we memorize those songs so quickly.
Yeah,
Interesting,
it's
you
true.
know.
You right, Sophie, man. In fact, I wonder how many times we actually stop to think about what we are putting into our minds. Sure, the beat is right and the lyrics might be tight, but what's the message behind these songs? Does it affect who you are and how you act? Can the message behind these songs actually be brainwashing you into thinking certain things or different trends?
Interesting thought here, you know. Well, both of you come up with some pretty interesting thoughts to this topic. On our show today, we're addressing the issue, the influence of music. Am I what I listen to?
Our discussion begins when we come right back.
Stay close.
It's been a long day, and they could just burst out crying, you know.
Basically, that's a popular song. That's down for my black men.
Okay.
Speak out at the Youth Zone. Searching for solutions for the issues in our nation. That's the only way we know that we can make it. To save our nation. Oh, at the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
Welcome back. So we're talking about the influence of music. Are you what you listen to? How do you feel about this issue and how has it affected you in the past? To find out what you had to say, our social media correspondent, Hallie Bowe, has this week's responses. Hallie?
Thanks, guys. We're always excited to hear from you on our topic of the week. And boy, didn't we get some interesting responses. Let's take a look on what you had to say. This week's question of the week is it true that I am what I listen to? Kevinique Stubbs says, I believe that music has a huge impact on everyone. Music can change the way that we look at different situations and how we look at the world. Music also influences our sense of style and clothing, drastically I should add. Jador Dior says, I believe that music has a strong hold on people. It can change your mood from happy to sad and even to depressed. But it's mainly what the music speaks about that influences you. Music nowadays is mainly about the trap, money, and girls. Sing sensible music and get a sensible response. Lawrence Burrows says, music has a very strong influence on people, and music can generate and create a new personality for some. An example is metal rock men wear eyeliner and mascara. I think that is too much influence if you ask me. So we want to hear from you. Stay tuned to our social media sites on Twitter at the Youth Zone 242, Instagram at the Youth Zone 242, and Snapchat the Youth Zone. And don't forget our Facebook page, the Youth Zone. View our question of the week and send us a 20-second video of your opinion. That's our social media report for this week, and back to you guys.
Well, thanks a lot, Hallie. Well, it's time to turn up the heat. There's still the life of the party and the muse with all the views. Okay, that's my line, guys. We're talking about our TYZ panel. Welcome back another week, guys. How y'all doing? All right. So let's get right into this topic. Music, you know, does it influence who you become? Does it impact you? Does it change you? What say you?
Well, yes, music does influence you, and it can have a positive effect or a negative effect. Look, if you take me for an instance, I actually listen to classical music or symphonies to help me study, to help me focus, whereas there are people who can listen to songs like "It's Been a Long Day" and they could just burst out crying, you know. So it can affect you and the way your personality and everything that you do.
Interesting.
Well, I obviously agree with Devontae. Like, take Adele. Adele has a beautiful voice. Her ballads are so emotional, and they could just make you cry every day. Bring you pain. Like, it's so depressing, but then it's so good. So it just changes your mood. And, you know, we have an experiment that we want to do real quick. You know? Basically, that's a popular song. That's down for my black men.
Okay.
So, but I mean, just the intro of that song just hypes you up. That's music. Music gives you that.
What's the message in that song, though?
I'm down for my
You're down for your friend.
No. What's the real message in that song?
That we can party all night. Okay? All night. Huh?
Oh, I don't say the next line. I know I don't say the next line. But clearly, it sticks with you, doesn't it? Yeah. And sometimes the message that's sticking with you really ain't the best message.
Right.
Who else wanted to comment on this?
But I agree with both Elsha and Devontae. I feel as if you listen to music, it changes the way that you act, personality-wise, the way that you dress. Like, some days I listen to Pink and I want to dress up as a rock star. Some days I dress as Beyonce and want to be Sasha Fierce. I feel like it all
what's
depends
Sasha
on the-
Fierce? I want you to tell me. Who's Sasha Fierce?
It's her alter ego.
Who's Sasha Fierce?
Beyonce's alter ego.
So is that what, a character, a personality, a spirit? What is it? What is it?
That's a demon.
What is it? So let me ask you now to understand that. So when you want to become Sasha Fierce, what do you take on?
I take on, not a demon, I would say an attitude to where I just want to,
Provocativeness.
What is that?
Interesting.
No,
All right.
it's more like, like a fierce attitude, like you flawless, like I woke up like this, you want to wear the best makeup, the shoes, you have a pep in your step,
It's
you
more
confident.
of a materialistic
Yeah, and it's also materialistic too.
Interesting. Who else want to comment?
Like just the way how if you emulate, I mean you make Beyonce your role model, right? Just as Beyonce is your role model, you're gonna like put her in the same category as like your grandfather, your father, your mother. You're gonna listen to the advice they tell you.
You're right.
Now
You're
you're
right.
gonna listen to their songs as well. If their songs are telling you a certain message, you're going to follow that message and like you're gonna follow it religiously. So I think the emphasis should be put on what artists you listen to and what they represent.
All right. Let's get another comment in there. I'm going to drop the bomb soon.
All right. Mr. Boss, before you drop the bomb, let me drop one bomb on Nick.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, Nick, let me disagree with you with that because I listen to several different types of genres. My number one, rock and roll, you know? And I have to say, I don't take them as a role model. For me, I'm a very classy, elegant young lady.
But that's you though.
And I also believe that the problem we have with music is because we stereotype people. If I listen to Vibes Cartel or Little Boozy, not many people, we don't listen for the messages. We listen because of the beat.
But then, no, I don't believe in that.
But I
gotta disagree with that.
I don't believe in that.
What you expect me to think about you if you listen to Vibes Cartel?
Man that is ratchet.
No, I don't believe none of that because you could see people who could listen to pop music and then on the floor carrying on bad. Vibes Cartel, that's promoting an atmosphere of jungle listeness, ratchetness, and just it ain't cute, it ain't it ain't
you will
classy.
be surprised the message behind many of these secular artists. Unspoken.
Yeah.
Unspoken. And we're going to find out a lot more about that when we come back. We're going to turn this discussion going to the next level. Stay close. You're in the Youth Zone. Can you remember any of the songs that you played backwards? Tell us what the song was and what the message was when we heard you play it backwards with our own ears.
And there was another one we played by Rihanna. And in it we heard
heard Bow to Me, You Will Bow.
It was literally mind blowing. We literally heard the song play backwards, and you can hear these voices when you play it backwards saying "Bow to me, bow to me." It was unbelievable.
Is it possible that this is promoting the culture that we see now, where violence is the tune of the day?
At the youth zone, searching for solutions for the issues in our nation. That's the only way we know that we can make it. It's going down at the youth zone. We may be young, but we're the next generation. Let us save our nation. Oh, at the youth zone. You are now in the youth zone.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're talking about the influence of music and are you what you listen to? Let's meet our guests. One of them is a teacher in the government school system, a youth minister who has conducted seminars on the effect of secular music. Please welcome Franco Johnson. And let's also welcome the most popular gospel reggae artist in the country, perhaps. We all know him. I'm talking about Pastor Kent Johnson, also known as Christian Massive.
Hey. Y'all just crazy. Y'all crazy. Welcome, gentlemen, to our show. And I'm gonna just dive right into this conversation. That you hear them talking about music, and well, you know, they just listen to it because it sounds good or it's fun to make them feel good. Are they really hearing the message behind these songs?
I would venture to say that they're really not. There's so much hidden in music. Apart from having the experience as a teacher, I've also had experience in studio, several albums, not as much as Pastor Ken, of course. It may not be as the popular Johnson on the panel today, but I've had experience in music, and collecting this information over the years, I've always asked persons I go to studio in, is it possible to put hidden information in music? Is it possible to put messages in a song without an individual knowing? And I found a phenomenon called, three phenomena called white noise, pink noise, and backward masking. Subliminal suggestion. You might have heard about the last one, but you didn't know about the pink and the white, where you can actually put messages, information at a non-audible level, and you can actually influence an individual through that information. Wow. Psychologists have used it, and I think the music industry has used it as well. But the backward masking is a little more nefarious in that it's more spiritual in its context. And that phenomenon has not been explained as yet.
Wow. I remember you did a course with the young people at my church, and you actually played some of the songs backwards. Can you remember any of the songs that you played backwards? Tell us what the song was and what the message was when we heard you play it backwards with our own ears.
Well, I haven't done it recently, so the last thing I did was A Milli by Lil Wayne. Yeah. And we played segments of that backwards, and certain sections in there we heard said, hello murderer, marijuana dealer, and I forgot the other one. Then there was another one we played by Rihanna, and in it we heard bow to me, you will bow. It was
literally mind-blowing. We literally heard the songs play backwards, and you can hear these voices when you play it backwards saying bow to me, bow to me. It was unbelievable.
Is it possible that this is promoting the culture that we see now, where violence is the tune of the day? Everybody wants to be violent. Everybody wants to sell marijuana. Everybody wants to smoke weed, and this is a cultural thing. This music is producing a cultural phenomenon that's affecting this generation and possibly the course of this world.
And people are actually bowing down to these artists. Like, people worship these people. They have a page on Twitter and even Instagram where they call Beyonce Queen Bee. And they're like, anything she does, and they're like, someone tweeted and said if Beyonce throws a baby off the wall, they'd be like, oh, you go Queen Bee. Yeah, she deserved to be thrown off the wall.
That's such and interestingly, you find that many of these artists in a lot of what their movements, they're paying tribute. Tell us about it, because he got the information. I want him to talk about it.
We looked into the Illuminati Now, before we thought that was just a phenomena created by the popular artists in order to get more popularity. But we listened to an individual called John Todd, who was a member of the Illuminati back in the 70s. And he talked about the Illuminati and the structure of how it works and how they are the pinnacle of the underworld at the moment, the pinnacle of the spiritual world. And at the top of that pinnacle, at the Illuminati, at that level, they're actually worshiping a deity called the Baphomet. And we saw images on the clothing. We saw images on certain artists. They wore them on headpieces. I saw a young lady flash a rock and roll sign. That's not a rock and roll sign.
Right.
That's actually
That was
homage to Satan. That's actually a salute to Satan that was created by Anton LaVey in the 1960s by the Church of Satan in Los Angeles.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah,
a
and
lot of people don't know
unknowingly,
Right.
we flash these signs. We do these symbols, the
Like
pyramid,
this, for example.
the triangle.
What does that mean?
That's a pyramid. That's the pyramid, and the pyramid is one of the things that's revered in circles of the anti-Christian world. It's believed to be the sacred symbol and the sacred seat of power.
Okay, so I'm a common Bahamian viewer of TYZ, and I'm sitting at home and I'm watching this, and though I'm hearing the information, I'm not really believing in it. And so my question is, what do you say to a person who is being influenced in this very same way, but at the same time they're not giving into it because they don't wanna recognize a deeper meaning in the songs that they listen to on a daily basis?
I'll say to them what I say to all my students. You heard I'm a teacher, and I always say this, and my kids at home probably listening to me and saying the same thing. He always says this. Back when we were growing up, we had items called the Encyclopedia Britannica. They were burgundy, they were green, they were red, they were blue.
I have the burgundy ones.
That was the only way you had information. That's the only way you could gather information. And when you opened it, you prayed that there was a picture, because sometimes it wasn't. I say that to say, you have so much information available to you now. Half of you in here are sitting down, even now, probably while I'm talking, and just twittering away on your iPhones. You can Google this information. Everything I'm saying, you can Google it. You can Google all the information I'm talking about, and it's available to you. So there's no reason to be sitting ignorant, listening to me saying, what is this guy talking about? I don't believe it. Go and research it for yourself.
These things eventually do affect the way you act and the way you think. And that's why his music is so tapered with a positive vibe rather than negative, because he understands what happens with the negative. Take it over from there.
Yes, I'll tell you this, boy. When I was like we say on the road, you know, when I was on the road, the only club I ever went to, I kid you not, was Zanzibar. That's long before you guys were even born. This club only plays reggae music. The dance don't start until like probably 9:30, 10, and it goes until the sun comes up the next morning. And it only plays reggae music, you see? And my reason for going there was like, the DJ would go into the gunman segment.
Yeah, they go.
Right there and then, I'm Billy the Kid. Because the gunman song, and all I'm saying
Everybody listen to
the gunman song. Yes, sir. And right there and then, my brother, the only things that happening right there is, guess what? This.
Manipulation.
Yeah. Ain't no girls right now. Even ain't no weed right now. Only thing right now is my gun. You understand? And then they'd switch into the weed section. Give me the weed, good ganja weed. So right there, and it's speaking to.
So
he couldn't get away from the word spirit.
Yeah. So that's interesting, right?
Yes.
So I have a scenario, because right now you're basically ruining a bunch of 13-year-olds' childhood right now. Because if I was a 13-year-old, and based on what you just said, you just opened up a whole new window of knowledge that I knew nothing about.
Then that's good.
Telling me
That's good to
that
get rid of
the
young
music
age.
I listen to really ain't all that good. So what would you suggest if I was watching this show right now? What type of music that you would suggest to me that would empower me mentally, spiritually, and even physically?
Yes.
Like, how can I avoid listening? Because right now it's planted in my mind. That's all I listen to.
That's all that's on the
so
radio, too.
how can I avoid listening to what I'm listening to now.
And it's so hard because everywhere you go, restaurants.
I'm
Just
brainwashed.
like even in school, they singing "I'm in love with the cocoa," and everybody loves it.
In love with what?
But nobody knows what cocoa is.
What the cocoa is?
So,
Cocaine?
I thought it was like cocoa beans.
No.
Let me answer his question. See, again, he alluded to you being ignorant. Ignorant is no excuse for law or damage. You see, whenever you see, again, I have to keep going back to what he's saying. You're being influenced by one source or the other. It's either light or darkness. And whenever you see the word, for instance, darkness comes up in the Bible, it means ignorance. It really means what you don't know. You understand? And so the whole idea is I can manipulate you if you don't know. You see? And so to your question of what kind of music, my brother, if it's not building you, it's going to kill you.
Wow.
Does the information you mean that every artist outside of gospel practices these
Subliminal messages.
And to add on to him, I have another question. Look at this example, right? If music affects us, then why is it that in a predominantly Christian country, with people attending church once a week, listening to worship for about an hour or so, maybe every week, yet they still aren't necessarily changed by it? Because you could go to church your whole life and the music won't change you. So can that, on the other spectrum, you could listen to this satanic or whatever type of negatively influencing music and not be changed by it? Because people could listen to gospel and not be changed. In the same light, someone could listen to negative music and have no effect.
I think gospel people, they don't know about the subliminal messages thing.
How could you say that though? We can't trust anybody nowadays. You don't know what a person is putting into their music.
Check this out. Look at it like this. Again, he says there's two forces. Listen, God wants your soul and the devil wants it too. Know that all of those guys, they're working for the truth of the matter is when you really do the research, a lot of those guys have already sold themselves to the devil. That's the bottom line. You just can't get around it. And so their whole, Kanye West said something. Could we call names?
Yes. Please.
Listen, I wish I just kind of refreshed my mind. Kanye West said something live. I'm talking about freestyle. Like, hey, yo, yes, and he says, well, I sold myself for a little meal, but at least it's a good deal. I'm talking about live, my brother. You ain't got anything subliminal about this. Yo, I sold myself to make sure I'm a big boy on earth. That might be a crappy deal, but at least I can eat. Is the bottom line.
Isn't it the same Kanye too that says that he has Jesus on a chain?
Okay.
No, but he started off as a little gospel artist,
He
a little bit
switches
more.
he switched his name to Jesus.
Jesus, yeah.
He's done his research. He's done his research. He's done his research because if you understand in Hebrew, there's no J. Exactly. So technically, he's Jesus.
Wow.
There's no J in Hebrew. The J in Hebrew is a Y, Yeshua.
Jesus.
So technically, we're all calling him Jesus, not knowing we're calling him Jesus. Research.
I don't call him that foolishness.
So just
I call him Kanye West.
to throw this out here, just to throw this out there, right?
What you don't know, like they say, education might be expensive, but ignorance is 10 times more expensive.
I just want to say something to the viewers out there because I know that because where I work, everyone is not Christians. If I talk to them about something spiritual, they'd be like, they'd shut it down immediately. But my thing is, if there are so many people that are so strong about this Christian, if you love yourself and if you respect yourself my thing is, if you're getting this information, research. Please, if you love yourself, don't just shut down something and just be biased. Do your research and be like, okay, maybe this could help me in life. Don't just shut it down.
Right. We'll give you the last question over there.
All right, so cool. So, based on this new profound information about music, what advice would you give right now, 10 seconds, to those that are coming up to inspire them to listen to something different, to change their mindset? Like, how can you break them free? Like, what can you do to save them now before it's too late?
The thing is, like he's a teacher, right? The thing is, whenever you get information, you do one or two things. You either receive it or you just push it aside. Mm-hmm. You're not going to get anywhere by just, like she said, ignoring it or pushing it aside. Listen, we're in a knowledge explosion age. Again, click the thing, man. Research the thing. And I'm talking, if you have to sit down and listen to the whole song, write the lyrics out, and what you don't understand, listen, man, just ask.
What's not of your character?
What's not of your character? Listen, some of these things, listen, they're meant to literally destroy this and every generation. You are what you eat. Listen, the human body, the human soul, has two gateways, primarily. That's your ears and your eyes. What you see, the visual, audio, what you see, video, and what you hear, music. So there you got the cinemas, and there you got music. This is where you capture everything. Mind you, these might be physical doorways, but you're entering into a spiritual world. That's where the average human being is bound. They're bound in the spirit, and they didn't even know how it happened. It happened through these. It happened through the music that you was listening to. It happened through the video that you were watching. That's how it happened.
Johnson & Johnson, thank you so much for being on our show today. I think we've all gained some insight on this whole thing about music and the seriousness of it. And of course, we advise parents to please make sure you know what your children are listening to, because they become what they listen to. That's just the bottom line of it, don't they? Isn't it true?
Right. Well, we're not at the top, but we're definitely out of time. So let's continue the discussion on social media at our Facebook page, The Youth Zone, and Twitter page, we're at The Youth Zone 242, or meet us in our interactive chat live at znsbahamas.com.
Your TYZ News is up next.
We may be young, but we're the next generation, and we're here to save our nation. At the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
Hey everybody, I'm Alexia Johnson.
And I'm Jose Etienne.
And we're back,
bringing you not only important but also relevant youth news. Scholars from the Siawarkor Senior High had the opportunity to exhibit their knowledge about Credit Suisse, a prominent offshore bank, and what was called Credit Suisse COO Charity Game Show. The students were broken into different groups which represented the various countries that Credit Suisse is located in, such as Mexico, the Cayman Islands, the Bahamas, Canada, and the United States. In this game show, competitors were expected to study the information given to them about Credit Suisse and the country they represented and answer the questions. Team Mexico won the game, and each of the winners got a Kindle Fire device as their prize. Team United States, the runner-up, had lunch with the COOs and a tour of the Credit Suisse office. The COOs of Credit Suisse are top supporters of Siawarkor, and they proved it once more by donating a check worth $10,000 to the school. Principal McKay was very jovial as a result of the COO's benevolence. Different meals that originated from the miscellaneous countries where Credit Suisse is located were then well prepared by the culinary students of Siawarkor.
Well, that was amazing. The Aubrey Sale Primary School and their literacy coordinator, Lorene Patrick, have started a movement that they hope will influence the future of each of their students. Our TYZ News team would like to commend the school for all of their hard work in creating well-versed students and increasing the literacy rate in the Bahamas, starting with their students.
Colina Financial Advisors Limited's Junior Investment Program, the organizers of the country's leading financial youth initiative, launched its New Providence operation at the Super Club Breezes Resort. Chairman of the organization, James Smith, stated that the program gives students a unique look at the inner workings of the financial services industry, along with equipping them with the essential financial tools needed to make our youth fiscally responsible citizens. Chairman Smith, Commonwealth Bank President Ian Jennings, and Executive Director of Securities Commission of the Bahamas, Christina Roll, encouraged the students to seriously consider the opportunities they've been afforded since being in the program, as they, as a result, may be financially literate. CFAL President Anthony Ferguson saw the need to fill in the gap between the financial market and students so that the participating students may have a connection with financial professionals and resources to assist in meeting their goals. In the program, students will get to learn about financial markets, the financial industry, and the local stock industry.
We want to hear from you if you have news regarding our phenomenal youth. Well, that, my friends, is the news for this week. I'm Alexia Johnson.
And I'm Jose Etienne. Don't touch that remote.
Stay tuned for my Youth Zone after the break.
Save our nation. At the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
Well, we're back with another exciting season of learning to speak Mandarin. Our language coach, Tanya McFall, has some new and innovative lessons for us. Tanya, welcome back.
Thank you. Ni min hao.
Ni hao.
Ni hao. All right. So today's a woman kai shiba. Let's begin. So today we're going to practice a nursery rhyme, okay? All right. So full attention, everybody. Okay? Yes. All right. So Liang Zhi.
Liang Zhi.
Lao Hu.
Lao Hu.
Liang Zhi.
Liang Zhi.
Lao Hu.
Lao Hu.
Pao De Kuai.
Pao De Kuai.
Okay. Iga Mayo.
Iga Mayo.
Ardua.
Ardua.
Iga Mayo.
Iga Mayo.
Wei Ba.
Wei Ba.
Jin Ji Guai.
Jin Qi Kuai.
Jin Ji Guai.
Jin Qi Kuai.
So what we said just now is called two tigers. Liang Ji Lao Hu, two tigers. So it says that two tigers, good try, two tigers run really fast. One doesn't have ears, the other one doesn't have a tail. How strange, how strange.
You sure this doesn't have any subliminal messages?
We're not going through all that right now.
What is wrong with it?
Crazy.
All right,
It's like
so let's give it a try again. Liang Ji Lao Hu.
Liang Ji Lao Hu.
Liang Ji Lao Hu.
Liang Ji Lao Hu.
Pao De Kuai.
Pao De Kuai.
Iga Mayo Ardua.
Iga Mayo Ardua.
Iga Mayo Wei Ba.
Iga Mayo Wei Ba.
Jin Qi Guai.
Jin Qi Kuai.
Jin Qi Guai.
Jin Qi Kuai.
All right, so we're going to sing it. Okay? Does you sound good? Everybody sounds good. Are we ready? Audience, are you with us? Okay, let's try that again. Audience, are you with us? All right, let's go. So, Liang Ji Lao Hu. Liang Ji Lao Hu. Pao De Kuai. Pao De Kuai. Iga Mayo Erdua.
Iga Mayo Erdua.
Iga Mayo Wei Ba.
Iga Mayo Wei Ba.
Jin Ji Guai.
Jin Qi Kuai.
Wasn't that easy? No.
Yeah.
One more time, one more time.
One more time? Okay, so we'll sing it one more time, and then that's our lesson for today. So everybody ready? I'm going to count to 3. E, R,
San.
Good. Liang Ji Lao Hu. Liang Ji Lao Hu. Pao De Kuai. Good. Pao De Kuai. Iga Mayo Ardua. Iga Mayo Wei Ba. Jin Ji Guai. Come on. Jin Ji Guai. And that's our lesson for today.
Don't have a clue what I just sang, but it's all about that time for our focus on encouraging you to start your own business and to become an entrepreneur. We call it Stripes of My Own Business, and this season we focus on Bahamas Striping Company. Take a look.
What is a Bahamian business? If it's a business operating in the Bahamas that improves some aspect of our social landscape, fuels money back into the Bahamian economy, while giving Bahamians an opportunity to develop professionally and personally, then Bahamas Striping definitely fits the bill. Formed 3 years ago by young entrepreneur and government self-starter recipient Atario Mitchell, Bahamas Striping is not just dedicated to marking roads, but committed to leaving indelible marks on the lives of young Bahamians. Youth who are not just in search of a job, but in pursuit of a career.
Well, in this particular field, this market was normally controlled by a foreign company. And once I started my company, I wrote letters to the government letting them know that I'm a Bahamian company, that this work shouldn't be given to foreigners. I'm a Bahamian, I actually employ Bahamians. The foreigner doesn't employ any Bahamian at all. So I feel that as a Bahamian, employing Bahamians, I feel that I should have first right to this a job. And I wasn't like, I was successful in getting some work, but now after meeting with the Deputy Prime Minister, Mr. Davis, he assured me and my company, along with other striping companies, that we will have a fair chance to get work under their administration. And so far, I have been getting a fair chance, and work you see me, what I'm doing now is actually work that was given to me through the ministry. And all they ask me to do is keep up the good standards and keep on employing Bahamians.
Maintaining a quality standard is not just lip service for Mitchell, who took an unprecedented and costly approach to employee development and training.
Mr. Mitchell and his company, I consider them very visionary. He has, over the past 6 to 9 months, I think, has brought in a UK trainer that is properly trained in striping. And the gentleman has been actively involved in embracing the UK standard and lending that assistance to his company. So they are doing that on a daily basis. I know that they're having meetings outside of their project portfolio. So they are being properly trained, and I must commend him for a 3-year company spending that type of resources to bring in a consultant at this time to properly train his staff. So he has taken all the necessary steps that needs to be taken in order for his company to further advance.
Well, there's 2 types of striping. There's paint and there's thermoplastic, like what we doing now. That is what you see on the major highways and stuff like that. It's a more complex product. So and dealing with the highways, the markings have to be accurate. So what I did is I went and find a UK certified striper named Brian Bostock and bring him in to train me and my crew to make sure that we do the work up to the correct standards.
The work that Mr. Mitchell and his company does up to this point is personally on par. And I can say the last set of work that I've witnessed is even better than some of the work that we have seen done by their foreign counterpart.
And even though it may seem that road striping is really just striping the road, closer inspection reveals this industry is more technical than it seems.
Save our nation. At the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
So welcome back, everyone. What's happening in your school? What sets you apart from the rest? Well, every week we'll find out when we feature a new school. And this week we feature Doris Johnson Senior High School. Woo! Please welcome them to the Youth Zone.
So,
Hi.
welcome Doris Johnson. Introduce yourself to us.
I'm Cara Ellis.
I'm Ali J. Poitier.
I'm Joshua Davis.
I'm Cara Humes.
My name is Pasha Munker.
My name is Mitzi Jones.
All right. Well, welcome.
Welcome.
Now, what's happening in Doris Johnson High School? Tell us what makes your school so good.
Well, we have an assortment of clubs. We try to reach out to the students. We have a tutoring program going on right now, especially with exams coming up so close, where even the administrators, they're trying to get to know the students. Our administrators, such as Miss Carey, Miss Burrows, they are definitely helping us. Miss Lundy and some other teachers, they're trying to make sure that even in grade 11, we could get our BGCs out of the way.
Wow.
I mean BGCSEs, sorry. Also, we're doing our coursework. Some of our teachers actually want us to get it done in grade 11 so that in grade 12 we could just relax, because they've had a lot of grade 12s that, you know, kind of freaked out when they got a little bit too stressed with so much coursework and everything. So
takes the load off.
Yes, exactly. So there are a lot of things that we're doing right now.
Awesome. Okay. What sets your school apart from the rest? What do you think makes Doris Johnson?
What achievements have Doris Johnson made?
Well, I would say more like the administrators. They are definitely interactive.
All right. Go ahead.
I also think we have a stellar basketball team, especially
All right.
All right.
So yeah.
All right, excuse me.
In continuation with the Mandarin segment you guys just did, we also have an amazing Mandarin program at Doris Johnson.
Do you?
Yes, and I'm a part of that program.
Let's tell us about that, Mandarin. Is it a course?
It's a 3-year course, and recently, being this past Thursday, we sat the YCT level 3. So that was sort of.
So talk to us in Mandarin.
Pressure.
你好。
你好。
我蛮改是吧？
我叫会上。
All right.
Taja Basha Munker.
Okay.
Taja Mitzi Jones. 我叫 Sure, Chi.
What did you just say? You're 17 years old. So how many people are in this program?
It's a total of 10 students.
And you actually, you learn Mandarin language
Yes.
like you would learn Spanish or French.
Yes.
That's awesome. Now, I think that's something that ought to be highlighted because, especially considering what we're focusing on with a lot of the major resorts, the Bahama resorts, focusing on the Asian market, you're going to become very in
That is a
demand,
great
high
advantage,
demand.
yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Let's talk a little bit about your school itself. We always hear about violence in public schools. Is that the same issue on your school campus?
Actually, I don't pay attention to the violence in schools, actually. So I would be more or less with.
Mr. Watson,
dealing with the violence, I can honestly say our school is not perfect. Yes, we do have violence sometime that we cannot settle an issue, but we do not have violence as in multiple times. It happens once in a while. It's not all the time.
So this thing when we hear about government schools really isn't true.
It's not all government schools. We can't speak for the other government schools. Our school is different from others. I think our school stands out. Yes, we do have conflicts. Everybody has conflicts. Nobody is perfect, and they settle it differently. But we're not going to always settle it as in fighting. And our administrators are good because before it turns into something bigger, they got to pick up trash. And it seems as if when they pick up trash, it gets better because they actually work together. They actually settle what's happening.
Awesome. Awesome.
Okay, Mr. Watson, I had a question for Doris Johnson. Doris Johnson, I think, is known kind of in the Bahamas for the past 2 years for being runner-up for the GSSSA championships. So I want to know, does the basketball team, do you think they're going to win this year?
Yes, I do think the basketball team is going to win.
You've got attitude just there.
Okay, how's the basketball going? Because it's basketball season starting up.
It's going really good because I see them for myself training every after school. We are team players. We don't lose. Doris Johnson is not a loser. We try our best all the time. And if we lose, we're coming back. You're not going to win for long.
Nice. That's school spirit.
Go ahead.
Also, we have an amazing girls basketball team. They won not so long ago. I have to say that we have some pretty talented girls now in grade 12, 10, and 11. They're practicing a lot, and they really represent the school pretty well.
Go ahead in the back there.
And I also want to add that they've won every single game they've played so far in the season.
The girls basketball team?
Yes.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's cool.
Well, I think you're handling yourselves quite well, speaking about your school by yourselves, and I think it speaks well when the students who attend the school can represent the school in the kind of manner that you're representing without having anybody from the administrative staff up here with you guys. I think it says a lot for the school. And congratulations. And I'm happy to see so many outstanding students sitting here representing Doris Johnson. And it just goes to tell us what we've been hearing all along with government schools, that the negativity stuff, that's a small segment of what happens in any school, whether it's private or public. But that in these public school systems, there's quality education, quality students making a difference. Anybody have a final, I'll give the final word to anybody.
About their school?
Any final comment?
Well, I have to say that in consideration of our BGCSEs, I guess a lot of students, and BJCs as well, a lot of students, they're getting a chance to do what they couldn't before, where we're having the tutoring sessions for those who don't understand certain things, and we're having a lot of BJC classes. A lot more students are showing up for stuff like that. So definitely they're paving the road to success in a very effectual manner.
Awesome. Congratulations. All of you, I continue doing well, especially that Mandarin speaking, man. Continue doing well. And we salute today Doris Johnson High School, Senior High School. Thank you so much for being on the show. Appreciate that. Well, don't go anywhere. We have our Artist of the Week is back, and it's going to be pretty exciting. He was talking about music. Now he is about to do what he does best. Stay close right after the break.
At the youth zone. nation. At the Youth Zone. You are now in the Youth Zone.
Well, it's been great hanging with you. Hit us up on Twitter at YouthZone242, Facebook, The Youth Zone,
Or email us at youthzone242@znesbahamas.com. We want to hear from you.
Yeah, definitely. And finally on the show, our artist of the week is gospel artist extraordinaire. He has set the pace for contemporary gospel through his reggae style more than 20 years ago, and now it's achieved and progressed to so many other kinds of styles. Today, after numerous awards, outreach programs, and performances, he is still going strong. Please welcome to the Youth Zone, Christian Massive. See you next week, everybody.
So eat some now, eat some later. What is the name of the sweet in the paper? Eat some now, eat some then. What is the name of the sweetie again? Eat some now, eat some later. What is the name of the sweet in the paper? Eat some now. Are you ready? Hey, give me no. What you do now will affect you later. No. Hey, listen, we don't want no lollipop, right? Lollipop for them we like suck. We don't want no skittles. Them think they're too little, man. We don't want no brown toffee, right? Brown toffee make me stuffy. You want something greater, some me can have now, then save some for later. We don't want no candy, come on, don't want no advice from Foxy or Brandy. We don't want no chicken stick 50 cents and give away the magic stick. We don't want no ice cream, why? Ice cream no keep me lean, hey. We don't want no, answer me, hey. We need no. What you do now will affect you later, no. Hey, what you do now, you are gonna deal it later. I gonna deal it later. What you do now, you are gonna deal it later. I gonna deal it later. Hey, have sex, smoke and join the crowd. That's not the thing to do now. Get drunk, party and carouse. That's not the thing to do now. Every day by your boyfriend house. That's not the place to go now. On the block just blown out clouds. That's not the thing to do now. Right now, remember your creator. No matter put that thing off for later. Don't say that later is later. What about Satan, I'm the big confiscator? All life is nothing but vapor. You want to see you in the newspaper, so better. I want to see you in a jump in it up. Hey, give me the no. What you do now will affect you later. No. Hey, so eat some now, eat some later. What is the name of the sweet in the paper? Eat some now, eat some then. What is the name of the sweet again? Eat some now, eat some later. What is the name of the sweet in the paper? One more time, listen. Hey, we don't want no lollipop, right? Lollipop for them, we like. We don't want no skittles. Them thing they too little, man. We don't want no brown toffee, right? Brown toffee make me stuffy. You want something greater, some me can have now, then save some for later. We don't want no candy, cause we don't want no advice from Foxy or Brandy. We don't want no chicken stick 50 cents and give away the magic stick. We don't want no ice cream, right? Ice cream no keep me lean, hey. We don't want no. Hey, give me the no. What you do now is you speculate. No. Remember, whatever you do now will affect you later 242. So think positive now. Think right now. Are you ready? One more time. Yo, hey, give me the no. Low, give me the no.